Taking the Chartered Financial Analyst CFA exam and studying the curriculum is an excellent way to ensure you have a strong knowledge base and top-notch skills. Are you ready to take the bold step to invest in yourself? CFA Society Nigeria is at your disposal, promoting the highest standards of investment practice in Nigeria. As an affiliate of CFA Institute, CFA Society Nigeria seeks to promote the highest standards of investment practice in Nigeria and to provide a vibrant community in which its members and other key players in the investment industry can interact and grow. When you have the CFA Charter, you're globally recognized. Take advantage today by writing the CFA exam and joining us at CFA Society Nigeria. For more information, visit us at cfasocietyn.org. CFA Society Nigeria, making finance a force for good.
Money Talks. Money Talks.
Money Talks. Money Talks.
Money Talks with CFA Society Nigeria. Let's talk about money.
Hello everyone and welcome to the program. It is Money Talks. Money Talks is a financial literacy program that is brought to you by CFA Society Nigeria. Smart Uzechi is my name and it's so good to have you. Today my guest on the program is Yemi Ajagun, CFA. Yemi Ajagun holds a first degree in political science from the Ogun State University and an MBA with specialization in financial management from Lagos State University. He has over 20 years cognate experience spanning marketing research, relationship management, credit structuring, stroke monitoring, debt recovery, remedial management, criticized asset portfolio management, and capital market operations across institutions like Eco International Bank PLC, Standard Trust Bank PLC, United Bank for Africa PLC, Oceanic Bank International PLC, and Bank PHB PLC. He led a credit risk management firm, Amoza Quest Limited. He later assumed the position of the managing partner of Access Capital Expeditions Limited, a boutique investment advisory and consulting firm. He is currently the executive director and chief operating officer at CFA Society Nigeria. Yemi is a CFA charter holder and an associate of the Chartered Institute of Stock Brokers. And he's my guest on the program this evening, Yemi Ajagun. Good evening to you and welcome to Money Talks.
Captain Smart, thank you very much. Good evening, ladies.
Thank you. Thank you so much. And this evening, we'll be discussing dispute resolution and consumers protection in financial services. You heard me there. Dispute resolution and consumers protection in financial services. We'll get that discussion on the way when we return from this very short break. Please do stay with us. We're talking money here on Money Talks.
We are professionals. We are impact driven. We are CFA Society Nigeria, a member society of the CFA Institute Global Network of Societies. Our mission is to promote the highest standard of practice in the Nigerian financial services industry and provide a vibrant community for our members. The CFA Charter signals the holder's commitment to professional excellence. As thought leaders, we collaborate with stakeholders to ensure adherence to ethical standards, better education for professionals, and to build market integrity. We are the leading voice for advocacy in the finance and investment industry in Nigeria. To partner with us or become our member, visit us at cfasocietyng.org for more details. CFA Society Nigeria, making finance a force for good.
Money Talks. Money Talks.
Money Talks. Money Talks.
Money Talks with CFA Society Nigeria. Let's talk about money.
Welcome back to the program. Smart Uzechi is my name. I have Yemi Ajagun here. He's the Chief Operating Officer of CFA Society here in Nigeria. And we're discussing this evening dispute resolution and consumers protection in financial services. I'm excited about this one because a lot of people have been coming to me for this, and today we'll have an authority in the house to talk about that. So, Mr. Yemi, let's get right into it. On this program, we've been talking about money issues for a very long time now. And I know you know very well that you can't talk about investment, savings, and the likes without financial services sector. That sector is a very, very important one. In fact, it's a bedrock upon which the other things we've been talking about stand actually. So how can you describe this sector? You know, I've read your profile. You're coming from there. So I hope you don't speak in their defense. How can you describe the financial services sector in this our Niger as we're talking today?
Thank you very much, Captain Smart, for that question. You can describe financial services sector as a community. That's the basic way of describing it. A community that involves a lot of stakeholders. You have consumers on the one part. You have the service providers, the institutions on another part. You have professionals that actually do the work on another part. And you have regulators on another part. And what do they all do? They all deal with money, like you just said. They deal with financing and money matters. And that is what, in a layman's language, what the financial services sector is all about. So when you are giving examples of who are the consumers will be the person that is depositing funds in the bank, taking loans from the bank, who is the insured, taking insurance from insurance firms, who makes pension contributions, the investor, the retail investor. Those are the consumers. Of course, there are also institutional consumers, but we are more interested in the individual ones.
And those people who are standing at the banks, at the ATMs, who are looking for cash now, you know, those who are looking for Naira, are they among the people, the consumers?
Absolutely, absolutely. They are among the consumers. And when you talk of the service providers, of course, you have the deposit money banks, you have the insurers, you have the pension management firms, and you have the investment services firms. And those are the kind of service providers we have. And when you talk of the professionals, you have the brokers, the bankers, legal practitioners, and so on and so forth. And on the regulatory side, you have the major regulators in the financial services market will include the Central Bank of Nigeria that regulates the banks. You have the Securities and Exchange Commission that regulates the capital markets and investment and securities. Then you also have the Nigerian Insurance Corporation, NICOM, that regulates the insurance space. You also have Pension Commission that regulates the pension space. And also you can bring in an institution like the Nigeria Deposit Insurance Corporation that insures the deposits of everybody to the tune of about 500,000 naira in case of failure in any bank.
Our listeners should know that that is referring to NDIC.
NDIC. Absolutely.
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay, that's good. So Mr. Amy, you've actually described the relationship that exists among these stakeholders you mentioned here in the financial services sector. But you know also that sometimes these relationships we're talking about can actually go south, very, very south. Like when we open the phone lines now, you hear from these consumers you're talking about. Now, what disputes do you think may arise from these different financial relationships you have outlined here now?
You're very, very correct, Captain Smart. Just like in a family unit, there may be quarrels, no matter how closely knit the relationship may be. The teeth and the tongue may fight in the mouth, and you can imagine how close those organs are. So the same thing with within the financial services sector. There are relationships, and relationships can go south. And the kind of relationships, the kind of disputes that may arise may depend on the kind of relationship or the institutions that are involved. Okay, for instance, in a banking relationship, for instance, you may be talking of consumers complaining of excess charges on their accounts, or maybe their mandate not being adhered to. In the capital market side, you may be talking of consumers complaining of unauthorized sale of shares, non-payment of dividends, and the likes. And in the insurance sector, you may be hearing complaints about non-payment of claims or delay in payment of claims or non-refund of investments that was made earlier, and so on and so forth. And of course, it's not just it's not a one-way traffic; it's a two-way traffic. As consumers may have complaints against institutions, the reverse may also be the case.
Yeah.
So that's it.
Okay, just to let you know, the listener, that you can be a part of this conversation. I know that you have questions to ask, so you can call us 0700 923 923 923. As a consumer that you are, you can tell us where the relationship between you and any of these institutions Mr. Yemi has mentioned here has gone south or sour, so that he can speak to them. You can call us on 0700 923 923 923. That's 0700 923 923 923. Or send us a message on WhatsApp 0817 313 6193 0817 313 6193. In case you struggle with those, you can use the landline actually 012771923. That's 012771923 or 012772923. In the event that you're calling 0700 923 923 923, and they may be having difficulties there. So Mr. Amy, as the calls are coming, let's go to ways that these issues that come out that may impede these relationships. How can they be solved? When somebody's saying, oh, I did a transfer and it's days now, I've been debited, the person to which I was transferring the money doesn't have the value, or I did a third-party insurance, I hit someone's car, it's now time for the insurance to pay, they are telling me stories, I don't know what to do, or maybe I was just sitting at home, I just got a message that my shares have been sold off. When these disputes come, how can they be resolved?
Thank you, Captain Smart. Resolution of those disputes can largely be divided into two parts. You have the internal means of resolution and you have the external means of resolution. And the beauty of the whole thing is financial services entities are regulated entities. They are practically about the heaviest regulated entities in any economy because of the fact that they are handling people's money. And the regulators do not want those monies to go missing or anything bad untoward happening to them. So many of them are mandated to actually have internal mechanisms of resolving disputes. So there are usually units, departments, or dedicated personnel that are able to take complaints, investigate them, and hopefully resolve them. However, if the resolution is not to the satisfaction of the complainant, it still has recourse to the external means, which will now involve the regulators in this instance. For instance, some of the examples you brought regarding banking complaints or capital market business complaints or insurance complaints, if the individual that has the complaint has approached the financial institution for resolution and it has not been resolved, you can approach the regulator. In the case of the bank, you can approach central bank through central bank has a department that is dedicated to resolving this kind of issues, and it is the consumer protection department. You can write to that department and your issues can be resolved. The same thing for capital market issues. Capital markets complaint resolution mechanism is actually very, very robust, such that there are mandated steps that you have to take once you have approached maybe your broker or the capital market operator and there is no resolution. You can also approach Security Exchange Commission through their website, writing a letter to their physical offices, and they will definitely get into the matter. The same goes for NICOM, National Insurance Commission, and also National Pension Commission. They also all have their means of resolving those complaints.
As you just mentioned CBN now, that people can go there. Some persons might be saying CBN, as in CBN. Can an individual just get up from their homes or offices or wherever they are to go to the CBN? Perhaps they have told them that, CBN deals with banks. They think it's just banks that CBN deals with. So what you're saying now is that individuals can go there to report incidences of this nature, and they will be attended to.
Absolutely.
So it's not just banks that go to CBN. Individuals can go there as well.
Of course, that's what the department I told you about is established to deal with. Consumer Protection Department. They also have presence online too, and you can check the website of CBN and do them a mail, and they will definitely respond to you. But however, there are steps, there are requirements. Lawyers say if you are going to get, if you go before equity, you
have to come with clean hands.
Yes. Thank you very much. So, if you want to approach the regulators, you must make a very concise case. You must have approached your service provider initially, and there has been no resolution to whatever you've taken to them. You must be able to show evidence to that fact. There are usually waiting periods that are designed for those entities to be able to deal with those issues. But if those issues are not dealt with within that time frame, then you can now approach the regulator. You put your contact details, you put the issues there, you put the amount that is in dispute, and they will surely take the matter up and try and resolve it.
You can call us now, 0700-923-923-923. That's the number to call, 0700-923-923-923. You have issues with any of the financial services institution, you can talk to us here about it. Mr. Yemi Ajagun is our guest on the program this evening, and trust me, he has the answers, whether it be insurance, banking, or the stock market, whatever institution you're having issues with, you can call here. Maybe you have a dispute with any of these institutions, you're looking for a way to try to resolve them. The answer to your question is right here on the table. The number to call, 0700-923-923-923. That's 0700-923-923-923, or you can send us a message on WhatsApp, 0817-313-6193, 0817-313-6193. You can also go to the website of CFA Society Nigeria, cfasociety.ng.org, and leave comments there and follow through with what CFA represent. Mr. Yemi, you mentioned the regulators in the financial sector earlier as you were making your comments there. How do they help to actually resolve disputes and complaints? How do they help? Like when people go to the banks or go have issues with insurance companies, how would these institutions actually help?
Okay, so they have the very nature of the mandate that these regulators possess, which is principally to protect consumers, investors of financial services, and to also ensure that there is trust within the financial services. They have the wherewithal, the ability to investigate, because they regulate all these entities within their purview. So they are able to act as an arbiter and call any institution to order should the case arise, and be able to get redress for any aggrieved consumer. But also, in the family setting, the last borns, they normally like to report their elder siblings to their parents.
Yes.
And so those regulators too, bearing that in mind, would do a lot of investigation to ensure that it's actually an infraction on the part of the entity before they adjudicate the matter, if I may use that word.
And sometimes it takes a long time. Like when you have transactions that decline, these ones now are like the common ones following this cash redesign policy where cash is not available. People are forced now to make transfers, to do their transactions. And then in the banking services sector, you hear a lot of people complaining, oh, you want us to go cashless, you want us to use these channels to do our transactions, but these apps are not working. Some of them, you can't even log on to them. They don't work. And when you do these transactions, they are not completed. You go to the bank to go and complain, and they tell you 7 working days, 14 working days. For some persons, that may be their last card. Why does it take an awful long time to do? Or sometimes you see people going from one bank to the other. They will refer you to this bank, go to that bank. You go, you even spend more money trying to get this thing sorted.
The nature of the commodity that is handled in financial services, money. You need to be extremely careful in trying to redress any issues or address any issues that may have arisen. And that is why maybe the kind of time lapse that is needed to do thorough investigation. However, Central Bank has its own timelines that it has advised all deposit money banks that they have to adhere to. And if maybe they go beyond that, maybe due to some operational issues, they may if they go beyond that, it will be in contravention of what Central Bank has said. But I know they will not be doing that willingly if they can help it. Yeah.
We have a caller on the line now. Let's talk to the caller. Hello, good evening to you.
Hello, good evening, Pastor Smart.
Good evening to you. Welcome to the program. Tell us your name and where you're calling us from.
My name is John from my 12. I'm calling from my 12.
Okay, John, go ahead, please.
Yeah, you just mentioned my case. I had a similar situation in one of these banks. So I made a transfer, and the transfer didn't get to its destination. So when I went there to complain, I met with the customer care. They gave me a form. After filling the form, I returned the form to them. Hello, can you hear me? So the way the lady collected the form from me, as if I am, she doesn't know, she doesn't just want to treat me well. She collected the form and threw it somewhere, said I should come back in 2 weeks' time, or I should wait till 2 weeks before the issue will be resolved. So my question is, why does it take that long for this kind of issue to be resolved? And that day I didn't have any other option. I don't have any other money to spend. So
Okay.
The way the lady did this stuff, and she said I should go and wait for 2 weeks. So I'm saying, isn't that 2 weeks too long?
Too long. Okay. Thank you, Jody. Just listen. I'm sure Mr. Yemi will answer. Let's take another call. Hello, good evening.
Good evening, Pastor Smart.
Thank you so much for calling. Tell us your name and where you're calling us from.
My name is Choma. I'm calling from Lekki.
Okay, Choma from Lekki, go ahead.
Mr. Yemi, good evening.
Good evening, Chairman.
Thank you very much for the enlightenment. But I actually wanted to ask, what kind of protection does the consumer have this period? Because you have money, you don't have access to the money. You have a need, and you are limited to what you can get. If your need is 100,000, you are told you can only get 5,000. And then you want to do a transfer. The apps are not working. and you have an emergency. So what kind of protection do we get at this time? Okay, customer service is gone in this era now in banking industry. Because when you ask the banks today, they just look at you. There's the way that I'm as helpless as you are. And that is how we can go to CBN when the bankers are telling us that I'm as helpless as you are. What exactly is happening?
Okay, Choma.
Where is the protection for consumers at this point? You look at what happened when this whole thing started. So people stripped in the bank.
All right, thank you. We'll just take one more call. Hello, good afternoon.
Good afternoon.
Thank you so much for calling. Tell us your name and where you're calling us from.
Okay, my name is Neka and I'm calling from Surulere.
Okay, Neka, very quickly because we are almost out of time.
Okay, I think mine is just a complaint and then I'm going to ask a question. So I had a similar case. I think Captain Smart had mentioned something similar to that where I had used the ATM, I got debited, and then it took about 3 weeks before that money was reversed. And each time I went back to the bank, the excuse was that the network is not functional. Maybe you should call this extension. They should be able to help you and all of that. And I'm saying that's a bad service. So who is the regulator? If I happen to have reported to the regulator, would I have gotten a proper response? I've seen a similar case with insurance too, where customers lodge complaints, copying regulators or regulatory bodies, and yet the regulator never contacts the insurance company. It's more like the customer is the one. The customer is the one making all the, trouble, trying to go through the stress of having to get their issues resolved. So what is it that this your organization, if I have to say your organization, or what is it that you think we can do in order for these issues to be resolved? Thank you.
Naka, thank you. Because of time, we won't be able to take any more calls. Mr. Yemi, I don't know, would you be able to attend to all of these calls in a minute and a half?
Okay, so of course, what's happening is an anomaly. It's a very, very unusual thing, and that's why we are having the kind of issues we are having in the banking sector. Going to the first caller's issue that mentioned the length of time that it takes to resolve some of these issues. Like I mentioned earlier, when you asked me one of those questions, it takes time to actually investigate and find where the fault really is at before a pronouncement or resolution can be found. And some of these issues may be adduced to maybe the knowledge gap of the person, maybe the customer service person handling the matter, because I know many of those institutions, all of them are regulated and they have robust dispute resolution mechanisms. And if one person is not attending to someone in a way that you expect, you can escalate to the next level where you'll get better reception and resolution to your case.
Well, because of time, I think we'll have to refer the other callers to the website of CFA Society Nigeria, and that's cfasocietynG.org. They can get information from there. It's been a very wonderful time with you, Mr. Yemi. This kind of topic will need 2 editions. You have seen now. You have not answered the question of the 2 other callers who called in, so you have to make us another time to address issues like this. But we must have to thank you so much for finding time to come today on Money Talks.
Thank you very much, Captain Smart.
Thank you so much. And that's our package for today. Join us again next Monday at 4:30 p.m. for a fresh package. Till that time, let your money keep talking for you. Have a good evening.
It's 5 o'clock. 92.3, your number one family radio.